Hi, my name is Karen Fabian, and I'm the founder of Bare Bones Yoga. And if you're watching this here on my YouTube channel, thank you so much for taking a moment. If you're watching this via the link that I sent to my VIP list, my mailing list, thanks so much for watching it that way. I'm here to talk to you today about something I'm really excited to share, which is an opportunity for you to learn anatomy in the context of a brand new way that I've learned how to deliver it. And by learn, I mean I already knew how to do it this way. I've just been convinced over the course of the past few months that learning anatomy in this particular way is a really powerful way to learn it. I've been teaching anatomy online for many years as part of my signature program, the Blueprint Learning Program. That program consists of a multi-module online course along with my signature anatomy manual and coaching sessions that I do with the teachers who enroll. And through that multi-layered process, teachers learn anatomy specifically so that they can learn how to develop a library of cues that allows them to share anatomy when they teach. Now, I know that what many teachers do is they try to learn anatomy by whatever they absorb from their 200-hour training, and then whatever self-study or subsequent trainings that they take. My approach is unique in that I focus teachers on learning the specific key components of anatomy that they'll need to learn for working with people in the context of yoga. And I translate all of the information into how they can learn to share it in the cues. So for many teachers who take my signature program, this is a very different way to learn anatomy. It cuts through the overwhelm, it cuts frustration, it focuses them just on what they need to learn, and it gives them the practical way to share it. Now, over the past several months, as COVID has affected the yoga industry and all the studios have shut down either temporarily or permanently, what has happened, of course, is they've switched to teaching online. And so as a result, I've been sought out by many of my studio partners to teach the anatomy portion of their 200-hour trainings online. And what this has allowed me to do is watch and be part of the group learning process around anatomy. Now, I knew this, of course, from when I was teaching people in person as part of 200-hour trainings. However, now, for the past several months, since COVID has shut down the studios, I've been able to create training programs for teachers to learn online as part of a group, all as I administer the training here from my apartment in Boston. And what I have noticed through these multiple training sessions is that teachers learn from one another. They learn because they hear the questions of other people. They learn because they're part of a group. They learn because there's a natural collaboration that occurs and a positive energy that occurs when everybody is getting together collectively for a shared goal. The other thing that's really magical about learning anatomy in this way is that there's a specific time frame within which you will be learning it. When you invest in my signature program, you're basically left to your own devices to learn it in whatever time frame works for you. And while that sounds great and is great, what ultimately happens for many teachers is they invest in the program and they never finish it. It becomes difficult because life gets in the way, other things come up, they often run into a question or a problem and they're not quite sure how to address it. Now, even for teachers in my Blueprint Learning Program, I'm very regularly reaching out to them and saying, how are you doing? Would you like to have a one-on-one session? Let me know if you need help. I also offer coaching calls as part of that program. However, in this new process that I am doing, I've realized that this is something I would like to offer on my own as another option for teachers to learn anatomy outside of a 200-hour training, which is specifically what I do. So my simple question to you is this. If you are interested in learning anatomy so that you can share it in ways with your students through the cues that you share, and share it in a way that's confident, that's knowledgeable, that's grounded in knowing what's going on in the body, rather than just saying cues that you were taught, this program is for you. And if the idea of taking a program that involves learning anatomy in a specific time frame so that you can not only check it off your list, but get to that endpoint where you can stand in front of a class, online or in person, confidently sharing these cues. This program will also be for you. If the idea of learning anatomy in the context of a group training where you can use the energy of the group, collaborate with other people, hear their questions as well as the information I will be sharing interests you, this will be for you. And most importantly, although maybe not most importantly, but one other note of interest, this group training option will be priced at a price point lower than if you were to invest in my program as an individual. While I'll still keep that option because people like to have options and they like to have the freedom sometimes to invest in a program and learn it at their own pace, I'm offering this because, number one, I've seen how effective this group process to learn anatomy can be. Number two, I see how easy it is for teachers to simply log on from their homes and absorb this information. And I've seen, again, the results that teachers get. And the way that I measure those results is even in the training I did just today, I asked each teacher to present back to me about some of the muscles that they retained from our specific section today on muscles. And they were able to simply point to the skeleton, review with me in conversational phrases and words, muscles and their action, their concentric action, and poses that they would be used in. Many times when teachers learn anatomy on their own, they're able to remember the minutiae details, but they're unable to translate it into just conversation. And think about it, when you're teaching your students, you're not reciting lecture to them. You're not giving them a presentation. You're having a conversation. And effective teachers that can share anatomy in effective ways are doing it in a conversational way through the cues that they use. And because they know the information, their confidence level is high. And when their confidence level is high, teaching is a joy. It's not a drag, it's not something they fear, it's something they love to do because it is an expression of something they know and something they love. So, in closing, if the idea of a moderate investment is of interest to you specifically around learning anatomy so that you can share it in the cues that you use in the context of a group training versus a one-on-one program that is administered in a specific time frame to get you to results in a specific amount of time and to coach you along the way, all I want you to do is respond to this email with a yes, or if you're watching this video on my YouTube channel, simply email me with yes to Karen@barebonesyoga.com. Now you may be sitting there saying, I don't know if this is for me, I don't know, she hasn't told me prices, how much is this going to be? I want to encourage you to avoid getting caught up in those details for now. I want you to instead think about what is possible for you. How would your teaching shift? How would your way of being shift if you had this knowledge, if you had this skill to be able to translate anatomy into effective cues? Rather than getting bogged down and starting to make all sorts of reasons why you can't, how about we reframe it and you start to think about what is possible for you? I promise you, for anyone who sends me an email with a yes, I will share with you all the details you would need to know. So I hope I hear from you. I am super excited about sharing this option with you. And again, my email is Karen@barebonesyoga.com. Namaste.